Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm your Dungeon Master, DM Disaster, and we're going to go straight into recap. So, Wiggum, can you please do recap for us?
Well, all right. We started off last session with, I believe, we were just standing around wondering what to do next. Uh, we traveled a little bit closer to the hag's house. Uh, in doing so, we kind of just looking around saw a shadow in the distance, and it turned out it was the hag flying on something. We decided not to go towards her house because we've been told that she's kind of dangerous, and it's probably better to have help before we go there. So we found out there are three places where we could get some sort of help. There were the Briganox. Yes, there were the Briganox, the Koregs, and I believe it was a Elf King somewhere in the mountain that we might be able to get help from. We decided to go to the Koregs first. But they wouldn't give us help unless we killed the Briganox. Uh, we told them we would help them deal with the Briganox, so we went to go quote unquote deal with them, but we kind of just tried to talk them out of being aggressive to each other because it seemed like the hag was kind of manipulating both sides and doing what she wanted. After talking with the Briganox, we headed back to the Koregs to tell them that the Briganox had agreed to not attack each other and just try to deal with the hag together. Uh, the leader of the Koregs went back to talk to the Briganox just to see what happens. She decided not to want our help in talking to them, so she went off on her own to talk to the Briganox again. Uh, we decided to travel a little further deeper into the mountain range, and we stumbled across the Cyclops, who stole the children of the Sunflower and the Queen Bee. A fight ensued, and we killed the Cyclops. We were kind of guilty at first because we thought we killed a guy who was just trying to make money moves, but it turns out he was well aware of his transgressions of stealing children to make bee wine, and I believe that's all that happened.
That is. All right, so thank you, thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Shake hands, shake hands.
All right,
Doctor,
so
doctor.
you're standing by the Cyclops' corpse. The very large hive that was on his back has toppled over. You see that a couple of the bees are coming out, they are observing, and of course, when they see Pollinella and their air quote father, you just hear a multitude of buzzing. You can assume from the pitch that they're probably happy. They begin to circle them. But this happiness is short lived. Another crack of lightning shoots through the sky. You know that another hour has passed. As it stretches across the sky, you can see illuminated. Not too far from you are 8 columns of rocks. They seem to form a ring around what you can only assume to be a crater. You know that in this direction, this is where Gleam has told you that the prince would be. You can see that from where you're standing, it looks like steps leading up each of the columns, though you're not entirely certain as you're not right next to it. It could just be the way that the rocks have formed or crumbled. You can very faintly make out a boat on the shore, and you see what looks to be a torch or some sort of light moving near one of the columns. And then you see 8 winged beasts with antlers, shouting and howling with laughter as they circle and wheel around this boat.
The boat's in the middle of the water, or is it like tied up on the shore?
It's tied up on the shore.
Okay. Do the do the winged beasts look threatening in any way? Do they look um like if we were to walk up not carefully that they would try to attack us? Do they look like assholes?
Yes.
They definitely look like assholes.
Okay.
This in the chat is what it looks like.
Yes.
Okay. You do it on that side. Yeah, that's very asshole like. Um there's nothing like is there any way that we could possibly get closer and like hide behind anything to investigate what this is that they're circling around?
They're circling around the boat.
Okay, let me rephrase that question. Is there any cover as we try to go and investigate what's in the boat?
Not closest to the boat itself. The only thing that you would consider cover would be these 8 pillars.
Okay. Hmm. I see, buddy. Um, I might. I'm interested in the boat, and I'm also interested in getting rid of these assholes in this guy because don't like them. What do you guys think?
About how many assholes is it in the sky?
8.
It's a gaggle of assholes.
It's a gaggle.
Yeah, you're telling me. Um, yeah, I'm gonna attempt to sneak a closer look at what is in the boat. Try to stick to the shadows of the columns a little bit.
All right. If you can roll me a stealth, please.
Yeah.
So the columns of rock themselves, as you are getting closer, you can see that they are about 200 feet tall and about 150 feet apart from each other. You can't see as you near the lake how deep it is, but you can see where the rock is, and as it just starts to get deeper into the bowl, it just gets dark. But you can guesstimate just by looking at this that it's probably about 400 feet in diameter. All right, that you have a 14. All right. So, yeah, you definitely feel like you are hiding. You're sticking to one of the columns. You are observing this situation or just the area around it.
Can I get this? Yeah, just the situation.
Okay. So, the closer you get, the more that you begin to hide. You can see that there is a man. He is waving this torch, batting at these flying beasts. They're not coming down to attack him, but they are seemingly mocking him. Anytime he tries to get to the boat, to get into the boat, they would swoop down again. Again, they wouldn't try to hurt him, but they would definitely spook him enough that he startles and makes his way away from the boat again. And once he does, there's that laughter from all of them.
How far away is he?
From Fixori?
Yes.
Uh, Probably a good 60 feet.
60 feet. Okay. I'm gonna do some magical tinkering. Yeah.
About how big are one of those bird things?
Oh, they are huge. Let's see. How big
Oh,
are you? Nope. They are medium monstrosities.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's oh.
That's a big
Oh no, I was saying like they're huge, not like huge.
okay.
Huge.
That's
It's
like all right.
huge.
That
Uh,
guy's dead.
anything from this distance I can learn about the guy? What's he wearing? What does he look like?
So, the prince. You
Oh,
see that he is elven. He is wearing not what you would assume to be princely garb. You do know, as Gleam has told you, the prince would be here. You see one individual. It's very safe to make this assumption that this is him. He's wearing just typical traveler's clothes. You can see that there's a little bit of perhaps jewelry here and there, something to showcase a bit of his wealth, but not much. The main thing that you would see on him would be he has a purple sash. Nothing on it, just a purple sash, and he has very nice shoes. But the rest of his clothes almost seem like he picked them off of somebody else.
okay.
I was going to make a magical tinkering of a 5 foot light, something that seems like it's shiny, and I'm gonna throw it towards Vixori and kind of motion to her, hey, see if they go after this. Just a lot of body language of like,
Roll me
You're
performance,
I was
please.
gonna say you're throwing something light. I'm hiding, and you're throwing something that is. Oh
Gonna give
Lord.
her away.
And you're
But
gonna expect me to
he's
read sign
oblivious to this,
language.
by the way. No, he's
Please.
completely oblivious.
Okay. Oh. Oh
Yeah.
God. I thought that was gonna be a one.
um
Um,
Frixori, roll me an insight check, please, to see if you
Oh
can
God.
get what he's trying to say.
It's two
Okay.
ones, in fact.
okay.
It is almost bedtime. Yes. Do you want to go
Nice.
ahead and get dressed for bed?
All right, so Frixori,
Mm-hmm.
this little trinket of light comes flying towards you. It hits the ground. The 8 creatures are too busy focusing on this individual to notice. These pillars are significantly wide, so you would be hiding and kind of peeking, but for the most part, you are still very well hidden. Of course, when this light comes your way, you glance in the direction. You see Olerin, and he's doing some sort of pantomime, trying to get your attention, trying to gesture towards you to do something with this light.
Just anything in general. Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna see if I can't like tie it to the end of a crossbow bolt. Um, and I need to. I think I only have like 16 left. Okay, I'm gonna tie it to a crossbow bolt, and not with the intent of shooting it at one of the beasts, but shooting it close enough that it gets their attention. I'm going to try to shoot it up and across the water. I think my range. My range. 120 feet. I'm gonna try to shoot it as far out as I can.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm, just roll me a crossbow attack.
Eh.
Okay. So yeah, you shoot it out, and you're shooting it in the direction of the water or away from it.
I'm gonna try to shoot it mm, in the direction of the water. Yeah.
Okay. So let me. Do, 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 do. Let me roll for it. See if it notices.
Question mark.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, it fails to notice this gleaming light. It got a 1.
Uh.
Olorin just kind of face palms.
I kind of look back at Olerin and like give a shrug. Like, what the fuck do I?
He's like pinches the nose, the bridge of his nose. He's like, he's just kind of like motion at the boat with both hands,
You want
and
me
he's
to
gonna
shoot the boat? What the fuck?
and he's
I'm,
going to make another. He's gonna tinker a little bit more with another stone.
I'm looking at Wiggum while he's tinkering, and I'm just like, can you get a load of this guy? Like, what does he expect me to do with this?
Wickham just gives you a like a oh with his shoulders.
At this
I'm gonna
point,
throw it.
you see that this elven man is no longer trying to get into the boat, but you see him ascending this spiral column. The creatures, they don't bother him. They let him be. He ascends, and from where you're at, you can't see what happens at the top. But you see one of them fly up, flap their wings very hard, and then by this point, you see that the man has already descended. And these creatures begin to laugh again.
So they're kind of keeping him from going anywhere other than the shore, it seems like.
Yes.
Okay.
Roll me a. Actually, no, not don't roll me. What is your passive perception?
Passive is like 17. It says 17.
Okay. So as you are still standing there, you see him make his way back down. He gets to the boat. You just hear him muttering to himself. By the gods, please let that flame continue to burn bright.
The flame on that other spire. Is
You don't know. You just know
that
that
one?
he said the flame.
Okay, the flame.
So what are the rest of you doing?
Wickham just kind of looking at Orin. Well, what are we doing?
I want to see what they do when something touches the boat.
Well, I think the fire's keeping them away from the boat.
The fire's at the top of the spire.
Yeah, boat's in the water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, just waiting.
Wait a second. How many spires are there? Am I able to tell? I can see in the picture, obviously, but
There are 8.
yes. Hmm. What if we were to cause every single spire to burn somehow?
Uh, do you have fire? Had to reach that high?
Uh, uh, maybe. But I do have a way to get up quickly.
Well, how about I stay down here and you figure that out?
Hmm. Let's see. Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to click my winged boots,
Oh, all right then.
and I can fly up to 4 hours with that, with several short flights, it looks like.
Well, must be nice.
And I'm going to fly up to the first spire, whatever one is like the closest to me.
It would be the one that you saw the man ascending.
This one?
Uh, no, this one right here.
This one?
Hmm.
Does that one currently have a fire on it?
It does not.
Okay, I will do that then.
And so you make your way up. Frixori and Wiggum, you can see as Olerin begins to ascend. When he reaches the top, Olerin, you can see that there are braziers on each of these spires. Only one of them is lit. You have seen the man walk up with a torch, and he has made his way back down. And all of you have seen one of these creatures flap their wings very hard after he left.
As if trying to burn the fire out.
Yes.
Well, I do have a tinderbox, so I'm gonna attempt to light this particular area. Is the brazier have wood in it? That should be the better question.
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna light a fire. Start a fire.
And it doesn't take you long. You strike, use your tinderbox, and a flame begins. And it almost seems as if called by this. One of these creatures flies up. You are now staring eye to eye with it. You hear it let out a laugh. And as the flame begins to grow, it flaps its wings with one hard gust, nearly sending you backward. And the flame goes out.
They
How
are
high
giant
up is that?
assholes.
200 feet.
200. Okay. Let's see what That's out of
I'm just
my range.
kind of levitate in the air, as if to like challenge it. Of like, I can fly too, you know.
Well, I guess it's my turn to do something stupid. Wiggum's gonna walk into the open, stealthily as possible, but kind of just walk up there, try to get close.
Right, roll me stealth.
All right, this will go great.
Mm. You're a cleric, right? You have guidance or something?
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about guidance. I'm trying to walk.
That's a 7.
How about a 7? To be
No.
fair, guidance would just give me to like max of an 11.
Oh, yeah,
To be fair.
basically. Let's see. I'm gonna roll for it. It might fail. You never know.
Oh, question mark.
I love the question mark dice. It means you can decide whatever it's rolled.
That is a 14. So it sees you as you start to make your way forward, trying to be sneaky. And it lets out a laugh. This is when you see the man turn and he looks at you. Little goblin, may I help you?
Oh, hey. So, that guy up there is trying to light the things. Think that's a good idea?
For me, perhaps. I don't know what lighting them could do for you.
Eh, curiosity if anything else. And Wiggum, let's see. Are any of them close together? Are any of the flying creatures close together? Well, I should say, are any of them within 300 feet of me?
Yes.
About how many of them are within 300 feet of me?
2.
Alright. Then at, let's see, third level. Can I not upcast Earthbind? I think I can. Oh well. Apparently I can only do one. I'll cast Earthbind on one of them. DC 17 strength save, please.
Okay. Okay. And that. That is a 10.
Get over here.
And
It
so
just, it slowly descends 60 feet per round.
you watch Olerin and Frixori as this yellow lasso seems to shoot from Wiggum's hand, wrap around one of these birds, and the bird very slowly begins to descend. You hear it
Come on,
laughing.
big fella. Come on, big fella. Just pulling down the rope with his hands.
Eventually, it lands on the ground. Still laughing, but not hostile.
Well, that's one out of the sky out of the seven.
Are
Now that I
any of
get a...
them?
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, no. You good?
Alright. Now I've got to look at it. Um, it's just kind of just... Is it laughing because it thinks something's funny? Or it's laughing because, like a hyena, that's just the sound it makes when its normal, basic sound.
Roll me a mm, an animal handling.
Alright. 15.
It doesn't seem natural.
Alright, well, this guy's just straight up laughing at us. Alright then. Um, I don't want to start killing things, because I don't know what's going to start. So,
I'm pretty sure it's a creation of the hag. But
what?
yeah,
No, I'm saying, what? You, 200 feet above me.
echoes.
All right, Frixori, what are you doing?
Give me 1 second. I'm dealing with a 4-year-old trying to go to bed here.
Okay. All right, so we'll just move on over. Olerin.
Okay, so I'm going to light the fire with green flame blade. Just do a quick attack on it. Would that light it on fire?
It would not.
Okay, so we'll tinderbox it. And then as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna fly to the next pillar, which
150 feet.
Okay.
And so
That's what I do.
you light this one. You see that the creature has been pulled down by Wiggum. It looks up. All of you can see that it wants to go up there, but it currently can't. And you see another one fly over as you make it to the other side, Olurin. And it watches you. And just as you light this next one, it flaps its wings and it snuffs out the first one. And it lets out a laugh.
All right.
Are there any that are 120 feet of me?
No. The closest one would be the one that is on the ground.
Okay. Yes, honey, that's fine. Um, can I climb these to try to get a little bit closer? Maybe distract them in any way?
You want to climb the spire?
Can I? Are there like stairs or anything
Yeah.
like that I can climb on? Okay.
Yeah. All of them have stairs.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go climb up one of the stairs. Try to get at least within 120 feet range of one of them. And I'm going to I'm gonna call out to them. Oh, you guys think you're pretty smart, huh? And I'm going to cast Flame Blade and just kind of hold on to a flaming sword in front of this now snuffed out spire.
And you do that. You hold Flame Blade in front of the spire. The spire ignites. You see the one that is closest to you, that is directly in front of you, technically looking at this spire. It doesn't do anything. It's just there, flapping its wings, keeping itself aloft.
It's not coming up to put out the fire or anything like that?
No.
Alright. Am I now within 120 feet of it?
Oh, you've been it's in front of you.
Okay, cool. In my other hand, then I'm just going to shoot it with my crossbow. I don't like being played with like this.
Okay.
All right then.
Fuck you guys, basically.
Okay, so you shoot at it. Go ahead and roll your attack, please.
If I can, why? Okay, there we go. Attack. Cool.
That was almost really good. Almost.
And that misses.
Sure does. That was a warning shot.
You
Screw you.
do that, and you see that it just very easily just shifts over to the side slightly. And another round of laughter from all of them, even the one on the ground. The man just rubs at his forehead. You all don't need to be here. You're welcome to leave. I can figure this out on my own.
What? Well, hold on. So are we killing them? Yelling up to Vixori.
They're assholes. I don't like them.
All right. Call lightning.
Oh god.
He immediately shakes his head and puts his hands up. No, please don't, please don't.
Oh, but I like using call lightning.
Do it anyway. We don't know this guy.
You don't know me.
We don't know this man. Do it anyway.
All right. All lightning. 5th level. Oof.
Okay.
On one of the flying ones. And I would assume the conditions are stormy because there's lightning on the splash page.
Um, they are not stormy. It's just that the lightning strikes from above, hits the spires, and then those are the rods, and then it shoots over.
And then DC 17 dex save for 24 lightning damage.
Dixie. That's a 16.
Get fried, bitch.
Getting chicken on the menu today, boys.
God.
Okay, and so you shoot and you hit this one. You hit the one that's in front of Frixori. It screeches. The others screech but laugh at the same time. And the whole time, this man is just screaming, like, please, no, stop. What are you doing?
Lightning.
I did not ask for your help. Have they harmed you?
Yes, emotionally.
I hurt our feelings.
I'm going to have to ask all of you to leave. If you're going to continue this, there's no reason to harm these creatures. They are a nuisance. That's it.
I put away the flame blade and I look at one of them just real like, you're fucking lucky today, kid. And I go down the spire to talk to this guy.
As soon as you put it away and you make your way back down, you see that the one that was in front of you, that was struck by lightning, flaps his wings and snuffs out the flame.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna like walk up to the guy now. Okay. Clearly, this was a fucking waste of time just trying to walk around, not getting attacked by these things. Yes, that is the good diaper. Please put that on. Thank you. Look, it looked like you were having a hard time. We just came over to help. All right? Just
You came over to help without asking what the situation was. You just jump into things attacking. Is that what you consider help?
Yes.
And he shakes his head just very slowly.
how can we help you then? Because you're very clearly worried about the fire being on the spire. Yeah, that rhymed.
The gold, according to her, and he gives a very grand gesture in the direction of Endelyn's home, is to light the beacons. It's that simple.
What?
And then he
What is
points
this,
to the creature. They used to be humans. Pantomimists, known as the Greyhawk Murmurs. They've all been transformed, cursed, something, I don't know. I don't know if this was willing or not. They have become what they are now. They can understand you. And then he looks around and That is Archelaus, and he gestures over to one that's a little further away from the group. And this one that you have lassoed to the ground is Mortia. They are the leaders of what once used to be a troop. Their troop. The others, and he gives just a generalized gesture towards the other creatures. They are Verna, Moldauer, Angara, Gorgonol, Cathasar, and Thornalia. Please do not harm them.
So, who are these people to you then? And why are you working so hard to light things? Is it just because of the witch?
Yes and no. I have attended several of Endelin's performances. They, the Greyhawk mummers, they were there. They performed when they were human, or at least whatever their former forms were. I've only attended a few. I'd never got to know them personally, but I do know that they became a little arrogant. And with that arrogance came the lack of control. And you hear he says this as almost like a question. What I heard from those here, Endelin has locked them up. But she freed them not long after. And that's when he gestures again to the creatures. I don't know if this was their choice. I don't know if they agreed to this. But I can tell you that what they're doing is not malicious in any way, and harming them is unnecessary. They're jesters.
You said you watched some of Endelin's performances. Is that because they were made for public display, or because you've been in her house and as a guest?
Yes, I have.
What are your thoughts on her?
Nothing that I should speak out loud.
Well, we have a friend that thought that you might be helpful. See, we gotta go to her, and we gotta what is it? Retrieve your friend's soul or something like that. Looking over at Wiggum now for confirmation.
Yeah.
It would help to have a little bit of information on the inside.
And you think that I can help you?
Well, we were told you could, maybe.
And what kind of help is it that you need? Because if you're going to ask me to go in there and to fight her, I cannot and will not.
You know she's got slaves. And if it helps, these not assholes, in the event that this was not the decision. You're a prince, right? You should be standing up for people.
You see, as you say this, he doesn't meet your gaze. He continues to look anywhere but at any of you, mostly at the creatures. The one that's lassoed to the ground lets out a chirp and then a very soft laughter. And then he nods. Fine. As I said, I will not fight. She doesn't. I have yet to see her truly harm another. She inconveniences them, yes. But that's about it.
You would call slavery inconvenienced? Taking people's shadows and making them to walk across the land as if they're cursed? Inconvenient?
Were this my land, I would have fought back. But it is not. I am a guest, and as such, I cannot harm.
Your guest or slave?
Not a slave. Merely a prince who happened to lose his way. Trying
So
to
what's
find
the
a
deal
way
with his
back home.
colors?
He
What happens if
points.
all of them are lit?
I get to go home.
They have to be lit for a long time.
They need to be lit. All of them at once.
Alright. I might have a way of doing it, but it's gonna require precise. Whatever we're following precise. So, Ulrin, Ixaroli, I am going to summon some fire guys and then become a fire guy. And once we light our things, you have to light them as soon as we light ours. You follow me?
And he
Yeah.
shakes his head. The vision that Aes'Taldon has given me, while vague, tells me that I am to be the one to light the beacons on my own. Then and only then will I have the answer on how to get home.
Well, loopholes exist, and so you did technically light it alone if we serve you. Right?
And he shakes his head again. The vision had me alone, lighting them.
Being very difficult.
I'm not being difficult, stranger. I'm telling you of the vision that I have received.
From someone you've never met.
Met on several occasions. She is a hag. They all have their tricks. If it were as easy as me gathering servants and having them light it for me, I would have done this ages ago.
So what you're telling us is you don't want our help, and you're a buzzkill.
What what does this buzzkill mean?
Don't worry about it. You don't like help, is what you're telling us.
I would greatly appreciate your help in maintaining control of them.
Mm,
Yeah, don't have a whole lot of spells, so unless we make a very big net and capture them one by one or all at once, you're kinda out of luck. Unless we can go talk to the hag and she, helps you out. But
well, I have something that may or may not work. All right. So to the one that's still kind of tied to the ground right now, I'm gonna cast a good old charm monster. DC 17 Wisdom saving throw, please. If this works and they come closer, be prepared to throw a net over them.
That's a 6.
All right. So I've been told they can understand what I'm saying. So I tell him or her, convince their friends to come closer. I want to tell them a good joke.
You see that the
And then
one closest to
I
you
release
is
it.
kind of tilting its head, watching, listening. When you mention the word joke, you see that it almost bristles up with excitement.
I won't tell it to you until you bring your other friends. And I release it from Earthbind to go tell his friends a good joke is coming.
It takes flight immediately. You see it circling the spires, calling out.
Does anyone have a big net?
Uh,
I can make something similar to a net.
I've got rope, and I have a curse that lasts for a minute that could help.
I got a glyph of warding. We could just knock them all out at the same time.
Not supposed to harm them.
Well, it's not really harm. It's just hurting.
I can I can bind one down and I can make one feel like they're having really, really, really bad period pains.
What's that?
I don't know.
Uh,
Oh, I got web.
You
oh,
see
you got web?
that
Perfect.
it brings down the others. You can see that the prince is slowly making his way towards the spire nearest to him. I can tell you that they like to be entertained.
Oh, well, that's
Oh,
different.
maybe we don't have to tie them down. Maybe we can do the same performance that you did for Mr. Witch.
Well, I just have this list of jokes that I made over the years.
Are they a bunch of dad jokes?
No, maybe.
Not a fan
Well,
of dad jokes. Just
yeah.
saying.
Depending on how long this takes, while Wiggum is doing dad jokes, I can do like some of my acrobatic, contortionist thingy stuff in the background.
Okay. And what about you, Olorin?
I'm gonna sit with the birds and just watch the entertainment. Just like kind of like oblivious.
Okay. So let me get
I'll be
a roll from Frixori and Wiggum. Let me get a performance roll from both of you, please.
I'll be your hype man.
I will guide us myself on this one. Just cause.
Hey,
Nice.
hey,
Plus 1d4. 17.
nice.
Okay. And so the two of you begin your performances. They, some of them are still keeping to the air. They're not way off the ground, but it almost seems like they're hesitant to land. And with your first set of performances, a couple of them start to land on the ground. You hear laughter. They see that Frixori is doing some performances, some acrobatics in the background, and they they just trill with happiness. Let me get another performance check from the both of you, please.
Ooh.
At this point, I'm gonna take out my coffee and kind of offer it to the birds.
Well,
Bottle of boundless coffee.
guidance myself again. Ooh.
Flash of genius on that 4, by the way.
Mm.
Plus 8. So 12.
It'll be +4.
What do you call a well-balanced horse? Stable.
That's a good one.
And they chirp again with excitement. You see that another set begin to descend and sit and watch.
Where do polar bears keep their money? In a snowbank.
But
And let me get one more performance check from both of you.
Ooh. Oh, it's almost good.
I was about to say, oh, thank God it took that roll before your dice hit it.
So I got an 8.
Flash of genius. +4.
12.
Let me find it. I was just on it. Here it is.
Your jokes aren't really a crowd favorite, Wiggum, but
Better dad jokes.
you do have Frixori doing some very magnificent contortionist acts. They are switching their gaze between the two of you. The last of them descend. And the two of you continue. At this point, you have kind of realized what these creatures like, how to pique their interest. And so you continue to do exactly that. And you keep doing this for well over an hour.
Ugh.
God.
I'm near the end of my dad jokes.
Frixori is just like, I should have stretched. Oh, crap.
I'm just sitting there going, ah.
This man's getting hyped up on coffee.
Offering the coffee to the birds to see if they'll take it.
You see a couple of them looking at it. they want to partake in the coffee, but they don't have any hands. So it's
I'll
just
swap
more of
them
them.
out for my homies.
Yeah, and you do that. They they get excited. You see their feathers bristling. And then finally, everything seems calm. The energy that was there earlier, that playfulness, that excitability settled. You see that the elf, he stands up and holding onto the torch. He begins to take steps, watching these creatures, and they lay there on the ground. They don't move. They don't even seem to acknowledge him. And then he begins to ascend the stairs. He lights the first one, and you see that he's waiting there for a moment longer. And then finally, he begins to make his descent. None of them move. None of them take flight. None of them snuff out the flame. He looks to all of you. Thank you. And you see that he turns and begins to make his way to the next spire. Making
Wait,
his way. Go ahead.
it takes him an hour to light each one.
Yes.
Oh my god.
God.
Like, Olerin just sitting there drinking coffee for 8 hours.
As I said, this man is hyped up.
Oh my god. Oh,
So you only need to entertain the creatures for 1 hour, and then the rest of the 8 hours would technically count as a long rest for you.
oh, thank god.
But
Why do paladins prefer chainmail armor? Because it's holy armor.
so you all stay there with these creatures, and you can see as the sky begins to darken. There is no light, there's no dark. The illusion of it begins to settle over you, and you can see each of the spires lighting up. You can see the glow getting brighter. You feel tired, but it's almost like if you try to close your eyes here and sleep, that you don't rest. Your body feels rested. Your mind rested.
I was about to say. I was about to use the amulet of rest.
But you don't fall asleep. After 8 hours, he finally returns. Beneath the light of all of the beacons, you can see something that looks like a reflected mirror surface. The lake itself, one giant mirror. But instead of seeing yourself, you see a forest. Vast, dark, green, beautiful. He sighs. You can see that there's this wistful smile on his face. It's home. It's Toril.
What was that name of the place that he's from?
Toril. Toril.
Got it. Would we have heard anything about this place before?
Mm. Do. Roll me a history.
I.
Is that for all of us or just?
For whoever wants to. Okay. And are you going to roll Wiggum or no?
Yeah. The history.
Yes.
Ooh, that'll be great. Yeah, that checks out. Checks out real nice.
Olerin, you know Toril to be various continents and islands, Faerun included.
Okay. I'll explain that to the group. Dumb question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you long rest?
On your sheet, let's see, there is a botone for it.
I love botanes.
I see hit dice long rest. Take a long rest, yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
active?
No,
Is it-
in your, it's just on the very top of your sheet where it says hit points,
Yes.
hit dice, and then long rest. Right underneath where it says hit dice. Armor class and all that.
Oh, there it is. Wow, it's tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so tiny. Yay. Hooray.
And don't forget, this does consider as a long rest, so make sure to add your proficiency bonus to your luck point pool, so you don't miss out on that.
Rest.
Efficiency to luck point.
So, you figured out where you gotta go now to go home?
Yes. This is home.
Well, I guess before you go off to the woods, you know, we scratched your back, you scratch ours a little bit. We kind of know what we're walking into with Aes'Taldon, but in the event that things go sour, um, is there anything you can tell us about her, the place?
Well, there are many things I can tell you about Endelyn. She is fierce. She is terrifying. You see that as he's talking about her, it almost seems like, I wouldn't say he's afraid, but it's very similar to that. There just seems to be this chill. Perhaps you should find a unicorn's horn. I heard those were useful against her.
He's not the first person to tell us about that. We had something about a unicorn horn from someone else. Where? I'll go through my notes real quick, see who else told us about the unicorn horn.
Wasn't that one of the things Mr. Light and or Mr. Witch told us about?
Something.
Yes, it was.
All right. You know where we can find a unicorn?
You see that one of the creatures, they lift their head up. They appear to have fallen asleep. It shakes itself, takes flight. He looks up and watches it. Just wait a moment. Perhaps 10 minutes later, you see the creature fly back with something glinting in its beak. And then it begins to descend. And you see that in its beak is a unicorn's horn.
Oh shit! Well, that was easy.
Hey, hey, give me that.
You just have these lying around?
And you see that the prince shakes his head. No, quite certain that there aren't many unicorns losing their horns. Now, what I can tell you is you probably wouldn't have received such a gift if you had killed one of their own.
Yeah, sorry about that. Look, most things that look like, no offense, but most things that look like your friends here are normally trying to kill us. So, oops, sorry.
Always trying to kill us.
Yeah.
You see that the creature almost gives a bow, one wing shifting out to the front of its chest, the other one outstretched, and its head dipping low. Very much like a performer on a stage.
I will
Then,
imitate and do the same.
when you do that, you see that the others begin to stir, they begin to awaken. And then they all bow silently before taking flight.
Well, that was awkward. We have a unicorn's horn now.
Yes.
I guess. Was this really all that we kind of needed to go against Aes'Taldon?
Yeah. Can I see it?
Do you hand over the horn?
has a horn, isn't it, Wiggum?
Oh! Reaching his hand. Here you go.
Okay. So we can fashion this into a weapon, right? Kind of
I,
looks at both of you, right? Cool. Do you have money?
uh,
I have. I have yellow pieces. Yes.
I'm supposed to have money on me. Give me a second.
I only have 15 gold. I spend a lot of it at the circus. Besides the
I'm
point.
showing that I have 10 gold. I imagine with a unicorn horn, you're gonna need a lot more gold than that.
Yeah, kind of much higher. Well, we could just stick it in her neck until she goes to sleep. Like barbarians.
Gruesome.
He kind of like shudders at that idea.
You just see the prince staring at you wide-eyed.
or you know what? I'm gonna let Wiggum take point on this. I'm just gonna hand back the unicorn horn.
Oh, thanks. Just puts in his backpack. Um. Anything else y'all guys want to deal with? It's that kite over there. That's weird.
Oh, the kite. Do you really feel like strangling yourself?
I kind of feel like a lot of the things going on over here. I mean, no offense to like, Gleam and the others, but I kind of feel like a lot of the stuff going on here is not really a problem, and that 99% of the problems here are going to go away if we just deal with Indolin. She
Yeah,
sounds like bad news bears.
bears.
Well, maybe I don't think she's a bear, but I mean, I didn't know you could turn into a bear, so she could turn into a bear.
I can't turn into a bear.
I can.
It's true, you can. So, shall we go on the silver brick road?
Like cobblestone, really.
Semantics.
To Indolin's?
To Endolin's.
Oh. All right.
Did you want to do something?
I wanted to go talk to the kite.
Okay, we'll go talk to the kite, but if it tries to strangle you, we turn back.
All
Deal?
right. Okay.
The kite was all the way back at.
Over here.
Oh, the green. Okay, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so the kite is definitely on the way.
Okay.
Oh, it's on
Oh,
the
is Indolin's place like that big thing here?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, hit up the kite.
I think I'll put it there.
Okay. So, you see that the prince waits until you are all finished. He looks at the water and looks back at you. You can see that he wants to go, but when you all seem content with your plan, he starts to step into the water. Thank you. And if you're ever near the Misty Forest, please look for me.
Yeah, what was your name again, by the way? I don't know if we ever caught that.
Algarthus.
Gesundheit. Al. Al. Can I call you Al? Is that okay?
Yes.
Sorry, I don't really know how to act around royalty, so
Well, usually you start with a bow.
I give a little bit of a bow, but it's very awkward because again, don't know how to act around royalty.
That's
He
better.
doesn't seem to pay much mind. You see that he's turning and making his way into the water, and just deep enough, you see that he dives in. You can see that when he does, the water ripples. It spreads further out. And then the water stills. And just before the image of the forest disappears, you see your friend, the prince, standing on the other side. And he's smiling. And then you're staring back into the deep, vast darkness of this water.
Wow, rude. You didn't even bow back.
I didn't think royalty was supposed to bow back.
Well, you know, still rude. I'm just gonna start walking.
Right, unless you're royalty. You're not royalty, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was
You sh-
once.
you what?
Yeah, for about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
What happened?
Uh, I was like the male guy in a city that was going through a revolution. So they killed the king, killed the queen, killed like everyone down the list, and then it was me, and then they killed me.
Well, that doesn't sound very nice.
I did say 5 minutes.
Well, Your Majesty, after you.
Well, thank you.
No, honey, you need to be going to bed. Well, if you want to talk to me, you're gonna have to wait until mommy's done. Oh, that's just me. I
So
literally just pulled. Oh, weirdo kiddo.
you make your way through this rocky terrain, and the further out you get, it's starting to get a little colder. You feel electricity all around you as another streak of lightning goes by. It would have, at this point, gone by 8 times. But now, the ninth. So you have, what that was, 4? Okay. Sorry, I'm doing the math for your thingy. Okay. So, you make your way, and you finally reach a mountain. Nothing weird about it. But you do see that there's someone standing there in overalls. Their back is to you. They are very short in stature, kind of green. You can hear in Goblin, they begin to grumble. My arms are so very sore. I don't want to fly this kite anymore. But if I let go of this string, Creeping Lynn says I'll become an old thing. The curse comes from those 5 blue bows, but they won't come off while the wind blows.
Hey, 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 you.
And they glance over their shoulder at you. They don't say anything, but they stare.
listening to your song. How do we make the wind stop blowing?
And there's a shrug.
Fair. Well, I guess I can just try to pull it down. See. Yeah, I'll just target the kite with an earthbind to bring it closer. As long as it's 300 feet away from me. Well, within 300 feet of me.
It is. Yes, it is definitely 300 feet from you. It's actually closer. It's like 40 feet.
Oof. Try to bring the kite closer.
It doesn't work.
My magic.
You try to pull, and it seems as if the more you're pulling, the more resistance this kite seems to give.
Let's see. Maybe I should try asking it to come down.
All right. Hey, kite. Hey. Hey, you up there. Come down.
You see that the goblin just sneers. I've tried that already. It seems this kite is much too petty. Forgive me if I speak in rhyme. I must do it all the time.
Is this entire conversation happening in Goblin?
She has switched to common. She has switched to common at this point. The initial part was in goblin.
Okay, got it. So I take it that you were also cursed by the witch.
And she nods.
And the kite, is that another person that got turned into a kite? Or is it just a kite? I don't know what anything is anymore.
She shakes her head. It is Creeping Lynn's kite.
Who's Creeping Lynn? Is that Indolin?
And she immediately turns her head and shh.
Oh. I take that as a yes.
Are you asking that out loud?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure it has something to do with her, like, turning people into weird things.
She likes to move through the night. Give creatures like me such a fright.
Anyone know any air magic?
I can burn it up or shoot it down.
Okay, very forceful.
And she shakes her head.
Well, I could fly up there and just take the bows off.
She thinks about this and then nods her head.
All right.
I can
let's try my thing first and see what happens.
Sounds good.
So Wiggum is going to turn into, yeah, let's go with this, an air elemental, bending two wild shape features. Fly up there and take off one ribbon at a time.
You fly up there and you pull at the bows, and they do not come undone.
Hmm. Wiggum flies back down, shrugs.
You can hear at this point, once you land, that the kite begins to taunt. It is mocking her, calling her weak, telling her that she's going to look like an apple, a shriveled apple, a raisin, a prune. And she
Hey,
gets angrier, and you see as she's getting angrier, the wind begins to blow harder and harder, keeping the kite flying.
She's got to calm her emotions. So what if we put her to sleep?
do you have that spell, Magic Man?
She immediately starts to shake her head. If I let go of the string, I will become an old thing.
Well, how about this? If we tie it to you, and then you go to sleep, we won't touch you.
You may test this if you wish.
So I'm going to guess what that is.
Let me see. Caleb, no, I told you to go to bed. Children.
Yeah, screw it. Reuse a rope.
Nothing vampires touched me.
I'd say Wiggum unwild shapes at this point. So the plan is to just put her to sleep.
It's ideally, yes, but she is concerned about it flying away, so we're going to tie it to her.
I guess while you guys are doing your thing, Wiggum will try to distract her with tales of Wiggum's past lives. You get her to think about something else. He'll try to focus on the ones that didn't end horribly.
Which are basically none of
It's,
them.
it's about that's about 75% of them. 25% are still good. Old age, and he'll just do that for however long they take to do their thing. Trying to calm her down and think about something else.
Yeah, he's going to take some rope, kind of like unravel some of it. Like, you know how rope is like multiple pieces of rope?
Yes.
Just like cable. Just kind of like unravel some of the end and use that to kind of tie
Okay.
And then I'm going to get a what kind of yeah, I could just use a weapon. Just drive into the ground. No, I got smithing tools. I'll just use one of the tools in my smithing tools. Kind of like drive into the ground and use her other hand to tie to that, if she allows it.
Oh yeah, she'll allow it.
And then I'm going to cast Sentinel Descent. Catnap. You know what? Instead of that, I'm going to use the Amulet of Rest. And let me choose. Amulet of Rest. Once per week, the wearer can summon a magical amulet and instantly gain the benefits of long rest. Never mind, I won't put them to sleep either.
I don't think I have anything to put her to sleep.
You got your fists.
Rather not. Rather not knock her out. I mean, it's just a matter of like calming her emotions, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just tell her while Wiggum is telling his stories. I'll tell her, um, maybe some nice calming stories from Victoria's childhood before things happened. Maybe even tell her some like nice stories that she would have heard from her mom at bedtime or something like that. Something nice and relaxing.
Roll me. Roll me a wisdom. Just a flat wisdom. Okay. And okay, there we go. Wisdom from her. Oh, bruh. She got a 14. You begin to tell her about yourself and some stories. You see that she's listening. You can see that she's beginning to calm down. You can see that her shoulders are beginning to relax a little bit, despite obviously being bound by this rope to the string itself. And then you hear further above you more heckling, more shouting. You can hear this kite yelling, "This is what you get for stealing props." Specklenose and Zolt, they're going to stay there. They're going to die there. It's going to be all your fault. If you had just been a good little girl, you wouldn't be in this situation right now, would you?
I'm gonna cast Catnip. Catnip. So she can fall asleep. She won't go unconscious.
Okay. And you do that. You gesture towards her. Almost like a whoa, whoa. You see that she's glaring up at this kite, the wind blowing stronger and harder. But as you're doing this gesture, you're casting this spell, you see that her body begins to relax. And then she begins to drift. You have bound this string to her hand. And so it doesn't fly. It doesn't fly away. She slowly lays herself down on the ground. And then you hear snoring. Then you see that the wind slowly begins to lose its gusto. And the kite begins to slowly descend. It's still taunting, it's still heckling, it's trying to get her to wake, but it doesn't.
I'm going to try to catch the kite if it does fall below to a certain point and it will land.
Mm-hmm.
So it can technically stay in the air.
Yes. Yes, and you would definitely be able to. It's descending very slowly. And so you reach your hands out, grab onto the kite. Looking at it, very much like how Wiggum saw when he used his hand binoculars. The kite is green with some stripes and has this very horrifying looking face. It doesn't speak. The wind giving it life, and it's just now almost dead in your hands.
I'll try to take the ribbons off now.
And you do.
Nice.
You pull at the ribbons, and one by one, they come off until all 5 are gone.
All right.
So, what do you all do?
Probably wait there for a little bit to see what happens.
As long as she's asleep, uh, she had said something about the kite not having been a person, but seeing that it has a face. Can I get any kind of semblance of humanoid? Maybe this isn't actually another cursed person, she just didn't know it, or any inkling of exactly what this kite is?
Roll me Arcana.
Great, but I'll take it.
You can just tell that this is a kite that is made to look like a person just to harass her.
Alright, cool.
Move.
So we have to keep the kite in the air, but able to get her to let go of it. Is that correct?
From what she said, she needed to. The curse comes from those 5 blue bows.
Okay, so removing the bows. What happens if we destroy the bows?
The bows were removed, so
Okay, so
they said they won't come off while the wind blows.
okay, so as long as they're off, then I can't really think of anything else to do other than wait and see what happens.
You do know, as per catnap rules, you can wake her up by giving her like a shake or a little slap, startle her up. If not, then she's going to stay asleep for the next 4 hours.
Do we wake her up now, or
I mean, there's no harm in it.
Mm-hmm. go ahead.
So yeah, I'll give her. I'm gonna slap her, but not hard, but
Hey,
enough that it'll make her feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
A
my
little
god, Jack.
pat, pat, pat.
yeah, yes. Yes, the good old safe slap in the face.
Yes. I don't know
Slightly
how
hard,
slapping
but
a child in the face is safe, but okay.
well,
Yes.
Be
slightly
hard,
hard,
but
but like
make me feel safe.
Jesus Christ, that video.
um.
Kiss me with my guns.
Jeez.
So yeah, you give her a good little smack, and that little smack, you see, she startles, her eyes opening up. Is it? Is it done?
It's done.
Took the bows off.
Bows are off.
You see that she quickly scrambles to her feet. She's looking at herself. You see that she's still a child. I I am free. You have freed me.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And
Of
she
course.
runs up and gives each of you a hug.
Oh, that's nice.
Um,
Is she? Oh, go ahead.
I I can't I can't go I can't go back.
To Indolence? To the witches?
You said that. She's like, shh.
I keep doing it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
Hold on.
Yeah, you're real
Shh.
bad at these whole witch-like thing.
Look, I'm not really smart, okay?
You're smart. You're just gullible.
I, this
I
isn't about me right now. This is about the kid.
All right, all right.
I mean, she's fine.
Small steps.
You want to talk about it?
Hey, you want to talk about it?
No,
I'm here for
no.
it.
Shh.
All right.
It's fine. We'll talk later.
Where are you from, kid?
I don't remember. All I know is mother and father there at Motherhorn. They work. They work for Creeping Lynn.
Well, we're looking at getting a bunch of things corrected by dealing with her. So,
If if you do and you see my mother and my father, will you please help them?
we're all about helping people. Might not be great at it, but we're all about it.
We'll try our best.
In the meantime, you really shouldn't. How old does she look?
10.
In the meantime, a kid like you really shouldn't be out here by yourself. Um, where is Gleam in all of this?
She's with you, as is Amadori and Pollinella.
Okay. Um,
She, the little girl shakes her head. I will be fine. Um, there are some caves nearby. There's the lake. I can get water. There's moss and lizards I can eat.
you eat moss? That's.
You don't?
Nothing wrong with moss.
I mean, I don't necessarily like the taste of moss. If I really had to deal with moss, I'd, deal with the colors. But,
She shakes her head. Don't worry about me. I will be fine. Here, let let me pay you back for helping.
No, I'm not gonna take money from a child. Just
She it
I
it's like give me the money. um
Ulric's really poor.
give me the
yeah.
loot. Give me the loot.
His job is just to take money.
let me get a D100 roll from you, please.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Whoever wants to take
I
something from her.
yes. If I can find out where this is. No.
I did it
Uh,
wrong.
eh,
Did the wrong thing anyway.
I'll do it right.
Barely
Yes.
better.
Better.
Barely better.
fine.
No, no, you didn't want to take any money.
No, you can't have the child's money.
That's fine. Fine.
It's our money.
Yes.
Let's see. You got a 9.
It's
Wiggum.
our child money. Yes.
She reaches into this small little pouch at her side, and she pulls out a chess piece that looks like a dancing satyr wearing a bishop's hat and clutching a gnarled staff. And she hands this over to you.
Thanks.
Well,
That's a
you're
lot.
welcome.
That's a very descriptive description.
Okay,
Olerin, she hands you a tiny electrum whistle, and she tells you as she hands it to you, only the Fae can hear this. And then she looks over to you, Frixori, waiting.
Oh, fine. All right, fine.
Yes. Take your child money. Be happy.
yeah. 30.
You get
Should be flat. I'm gonna be mad.
you get a vitrified eye of a displacer beast.
What?
Gross.
Ugh.
Wow.
Well, now you're both going to be hunted by this species.
It's
Congratulations.
basically a glass displacer beast eye.
Congratulations. You received mortal enemies.
Ew.
Well, already had them, so now I have a friend.
Now you both have them.
You got a friend.
God. Thanks. Thanks.
Do you want me to have that so that way you don't get hunted by displacer beasts?
Maybe when we walk away and she doesn't see it.
Gotcha.
She
Well,
she just kind of looks at the items and then back at all of you. I don't know if they are important. I found them in Creeping Lynn's home at Motherhorn.
I guess if we find anything else cool, we'll pocket it and think of you. It's a weird way of saying things.
And
Wiggum takes out his dragon chest set, throws away the White King, and makes that piece the White King now.
All right. Well, there's nothing else for us to do here. Is it pretty much a straight shot to Motherhorn?
yes.
And if you guys are cool with it, just bid adieu and walk off to Motherhorn with our happy selves.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
And so you say goodbye to the child. As you move further and further away, the child gets smaller and smaller. As you approach, looming above you is an ominous gray citadel hewn of the mountaintop. The path leading up to it is winding and precipitous. Wind swirls around the towers, and ravens cluster and caw in its granite nooks. A finger, crooked, light strikes with lightning as a metal rod protrudes from the topmost spire, and the sound of applause drifts from the citadel's battlements. The mountain pass ends at a spiral staircase that climbs 60 feet to a balcony made of weathered gray stone. A large balloon made of bulging rain clouds is tethered to a much higher stone balcony that is well beyond reach. The balloon has a merchant's stall instead of an ordinary basket dangling from it. Gleam murmurs quietly. She will not be happy to see me again.
Because you two parted on such bad terms, right?
I do not know if it was bad terms, but as I said, she believes that an eclipse will be her downfall.
Well, are you ready for this?
Sorry.
As you approach the 12-foot high stone double doors with fancy scroll work along the edges, you see no visible hinges, handles, or seams. A face begins to appear, the likeness of a skull-faced hag. The Moon Twin is not welcome here. All others may step forward and pass through the black curtain at the end of the hall. You see that the face splits down the middle as the doors begin to swing open, revealing a decorated hallway where discordant chamber music plays.
Right. I guess we're walking down the hall.
Yeah.
You see
Go
that
first.
Gleam takes pause, hesitant to make her way over there through the doors where she was clearly not invited.
Okay.
She nods. You see her take a step forward, and you see that she almost bounces off. There's nothing there. You've all passed through easily. And she tries again, and again she almost seems to bounce off. And that's when her hand reaches up and, very much like a mime, She's touching an invisible wall. It seems I cannot come through.
We'll make sure to get your sister for you. All right?
And if we don't come back, well, you probably know what happens.
Oh, by the way, are we supposed to wait for your robot guy to show up?
Yeah, where is he? Um,
Remember where we told him to go to the Briganox place? And I'm guessing he was on the way there, and we went somewhere else.
uh,
You forgot your brother.
I'm caught up in things. And then he starts like making like hand gestures, and I'm gonna just summon him right here.
How far away is he? Oh boy, he is a ways away, my guy.
Yes, I summoned him. And it's almost as if he kind of teleported there.
Alright, that solves that problem.
Rem, I'm so sorry. Please don't be. Yeah. I said I'm sorry if it's happened again. Hey, look,
Yeah.
I get you. You guys stay out of this.
Oh,
What? I didn't say anything.
What?
What? Said you guys stay out of this.
Oh. Yes. Let's move on.
not creepy at all. All right. Um, is there, I guess, some kind of direction that the halls seem to be naturally leading us into?
So you see that there is just a straight hallway. There's a thick black curtain. While the curtain is closed, and you see it kind of opens and closes almost timed. While it's closed, there's no sound. Completely muffled, and you are in silence. And then it parts again, and you hear the music once more.
Who wants to go in first? Got it.
Oh, go.
Behind you, big guy.
Or unless you want to go Rem. No. I think so. And I'm just gonna start making my way through the halls.
So you step through the halls. Making your way through there, you see that you have wound up in an amphitheater. It is an open air amphitheater carved from the slope of the mountain top. Short, cloaked figures sit on tiered stone benches facing the stage. Enclosing the stage are 10-foot high stone walls, above which you can see the stormy sky. A team of masked goblins are preparing the stage for a play, while costumed actors huddle in the wings and recite lines. Lighting is provided by an intricate overhead contraption upon which several more masked goblins are perched. The sound of chains clanking and gears turning can be heard coming from somewhere under the mountaintop.
I'm just gonna like, Baldur's Gate when you see Blackhead,
Mm-hmm.
and he does that like wave. It's gonna be similar to that. It's more like a awkward hi.
You wave out, and nobody seems to pay much mind. A couple of people actually look in your direction, but for the most part, nobody approaches, nobody says anything. The actors continuing to work on their lines, and the goblins working on continuing to set the stage. Let me get from Frixori a d8, please.
Oh,
Oof. Roll a good number.
That's
is that
not a good
good?
number.
No.
You see that what they are preparing on stage is seems to be an ocean. You can see that they have blue cloth on the ground. You see that they're waving it to give the illusion of water. You can see that they are setting up the backdrops that look like open sky. And then you see them dragging out a large coffin and putting it on a mount. One of the goblins from behind is spinning it. He's spinning a handle and it rocks the coffin as if it's riding the waves. You can see that there are some playbills on the seats.
I will grab one and look over it.
The title is Only Fools Knock Twice. A dark comedy about 3 sailors shipwrecked in the ocean, clinging to a coffin.
That sounds, I don't know about you guys, but that sounds pretty dark. Huh.
Let me see. Wiggum and Olerin, your passive perceptions are.
Mine is 20.
Passive perception. You define it as attributes, right?
Yes, in attributes, right where it says perception, it's going to be in parentheses.
Perception is a 15.
Okay.
Passive
So the two of you, while you see Frixori looking at this playbill, you see a figure watching you. They are about 40 feet up, staring at you through a pair of opera glasses. They don't say anything. And then someone appears. You see that it's a goblin wearing one of the very similar masks like everyone else. I'm the master of ceremonies. The name is Stage Fright. Please, join me on stage. Let me show you around.
Sounds
Us?
good.
How, what? Who? Oh, yeah. Said definitely playbill.
He leads you onto the stage, and once he makes sure that all of you are on, he turns in the direction of the individual that was watching the three of you. He gives a very deep bow. Your guests have arrived. She doesn't say anything. She continues to watch the three of you.
What does that person look like that's looking at us? Is it the hag?
Yeah, I think so.
It is the hag.
Wiggum sucks in real deep. Ooh. All right then. Ooh, that's a scary looking person. That's uh, that's a big yikes from Wiggum.
The biggest of yikes.
My lady got a skull face and puppet stomach. That ain't good.
I'm just gonna do that awkward wave
Hey,
again.
hey, what's up? It's me, your boy.
Yo, you're back.
Oh,
Hey, you're here.
click that bell and subscribe. Oh God.
Don't kill us.
Uh, big yikes from Wiggum.
Mhm.
Whatever you do, don't knock on anything twice while we're up here.
Oh, yeah. Don't say thank you.
As both of them look to Frixori.
Yeah, just you know what? You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It'll be okay. It will be okay.
So, who you would very safely assume to be Endolin, she watches, doesn't move, doesn't speak, just continues to peer at you through her glasses. And then it's almost as if curtains were drawn in front of her. You can vaguely make out her shape, but it's almost blurred. From behind you, you can hear more voices. They are muffled and nervous. Stage fright has taken off to the side. He's tending to some other things, letting you three kind of explore. You see that these three people seem very out of place in the Feywild. You have seen flower people and bees and cyclops. You've seen rock monsters, fey. These are human. Humanoid?
I don't know about you. I've seen plenty of goblins.
Hey, do you see anyone? Like, kind of whispering over at Wiggum. Hey, do you see anyone that looks like your friend that you're supposed to be looking for?
Wiggum will use his binocular hands again. Look at the crowd to see if Teddy's in the crowd.
Roll me a perception.
All right. 19.
Turning and looking at the crowd with your binocular hands, you can make out that a lot of the figures here, not many of them are humanoid. They seem to be almost shadowy in shape. Elvish, perhaps, or something of the like. But none of them seem to have actual full forms, figures. You briefly remember the mention of Teddy's soul and how it was almost as if you could see him, but not completely. And as you're gazing through, you see in the crowd that there appears to be a figure that could safely look like Teddy.
Wiggum still has binocular hands on. I think I see him. Maybe.
Hold on, let me see. And I grab his hands and kind of like peer through as I
My
do.
binoculars. Wickham's just on, it's kind of just on your back, like a backpack. It has his hands over your eyes.
Man, I can see everything.
Maybe you do not adjust the settings. Might break my fingers.
I'm gonna do a small adjustment.
Ugh, told you, might break my fingers, and you are breaking them.
And so you look. You look through his binocular hands and you see that these figures that you hadn't noticed before, you walked right past them, are there. There's about 25 figures here. All of them, or the majority of them, wearing hooded cloaks. They're dark, wispy like, twisted figures just staring into the crowd. When you notice them, you see that several of their heads turn to look at you. One of them opens their mouth, and all three of you, I need you to roll me a wisdom save, please.
Oh god.
It's like The Shining.
Oh, so you're gonna be another
Cross.
8?
Okay, that is a 17, 18, and a 12. Okay.
Oh, better.
What?
Frick, sorry. You hear a voice in your head. It's very loud. It's very jarring. You just hear, "Get out."
Can I kind of tell the direction that this is coming from?
No.
Okay. Is it masculine, female in nature, anything?
It is wispy. It is magical.
Okay.
Go Scooby-Doo villain.
Yes.
If I can think back, I'm just gonna kind of think back. Eh, yeah, nice try. Ghosty goo. I deal with ghosts sometimes. So you don't scare me. Boo.
You think. You try to project your thoughts out, and Olerin, you obviously looking through these hand binoculars, you see that this one figure that had turned and opened its mouth is shifting. It tries to get up. It takes a step and then another. But then its body almost seems to be drawn back into the seat against its will, and it sits back down.
Awkward hand wave.
It doesn't respond. You wave, and it just seems to stare in your direction before turning back to look at the stage.
Are we supposed to be the actors in this, or what's happening? Trying to looks to find stage fright. What are we doing?
You're just looking around. You can go sit if you want.
Oh, all right. Yes.
Yeah, I guess go sit somewhere, and Frixory might keep an eye out for all the people that we were told to look for, like the girl's parents. Maybe they kind of look like her or bear some close enough resemblance that we can tell who they are. Um, And then, other than Teddy, was there anyone else that we were supposed to be looking at while we were here?
Gleam's sister.
Gleam's
Oh,
sister.
Gleam's sister. Okay. Yeah. Well, then, well, Frixori would know what glister looks like, so she would keep an eye out for her first, actually.
Okay. So yeah, you definitely don't see her anywhere. For the most part, everything here is empty. You can't see these shadowy figures. Nothing is moving. You feel no one beside you. You feel a slight chill, perhaps. You're familiar with this. You have felt this before, being around plenty of ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost seems like this chill is surrounding you.
It's cold. Is there like a I can't remember what it's called now, but like under the stage,
Yes.
like there's like an area that's like understage here.
Mm-hmm. There is. You have that. You have stage left, the prop stage, the dressing room, the performers' quarters, the backdrop hallways, the storages.
Is it safe to assume that beneath the stage is also beneath where our seats are?
Yes.
Uh, cool. I'm gonna.
But you know that this whole thing is made out of stone.
Okay. Um. I'm going to kind of look at the guys. Nothing's really keeping us here, right?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the
Well,
guys.
I would say the lady actively looking at us is keeping us here. But hey, that's just me.
Oh yeah,
Well,
no, she hasn't done anything. You guys have walked around a little bit, looked around, and she hasn't done or said anything.
I'm gonna look to the guys. Say, I'm gonna go look for a bathroom. All right. And I'm gonna use. Can I use my Aether walk to just kind of slip through the seats and go down to the understage?
Nope. There
Can
she
I
goes.
basically just basically Casper the ghost like through this floor into the under area?
That's not where the bathrooms are.
You can.
All right, Mark. Yeah, kind of ghost style going through a wall or whatever. Frixora just kind of like disappears down through the seat into the understage below. Do I see anything there?
So moving through, you have stepped down. You see that there are rows of tiered seating filling the back half of this space. Motes of dust floating and dance on top of ancient upholstery. The seats face a stone stage flanked by wooden silhouettes of fir trees. It appears as if you are upside down. A mirror image, if you will, of what was above.
Is there anyone here?
You see shadows, and you can easily count 11 of them.
11 shadows. There were the 8 flying things. There were the 2 parents, and then there was Glister. Is it kind of safe to assume that that's all 11 of them down here?
Yeah, you can assume that, yeah.
Okay. Huh. Hmm. I'm gonna kind of like look around at the shadows, kind of give a nod. Is there anything malicious about any of them, or is it like purely a we're shadows and we're stuck here?
They seem to be trying to cling onto any of the mannequins that are near here,
Okay.
as if they're trying to become shadows to these things. But looking at them and what little bit of light is down here, it's not working. The shadows don't work with the mannequins. One of them you see is significantly larger than the others, very bugbear shaped.
Okay. I don't know if they would understand me. Um,
Well, you see that they're not moving. They are remaining attached to these mannequins,
okay.
almost as if they are hiding.
And it almost seems like they're kind of looking for a light source, maybe.
No, it just looks like they're
Or
clinging to the mannequins itself, as if they are trying to become the shadows of the mannequins.
okay, got it. Okay. I'm gonna kind of look around, give them a nod. I don't really want to say anything out loud, like, "Hey, we're gonna rescue you, so hold tight," just in case some hag is listening to us. I'm just gonna kind of give a nod. Um, I know where they are, and I'm going to start walking my way back up to the stage, trying to memorize the, I got down here the easy way. Now I need to memorize basically the hard way, how to get back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you just looked at them and then now you're trying to find a way out, is what you're trying to say?
Um, yeah, basically, I look, I give them try to give them a reassuring nod, um, and then go
Okay.
back to the guys.
So yeah, you can see that, as I said, everything just appears to be upside down. But for you, even though you acknowledge the fact that you're upside down, everything is still right side up. So your hair is
Mm-hmm.
not hanging or anything. You walk around a little bit and try to follow. It's another stage. You've done this enough at the Witchlight carnivals,
Mm-hmm.
and so you kind of know your stage left, your stage right. You know where to go, and you find your way. You find an exit very easily. As you are making your way out, there are two of the mannequins that are closest to the door, almost blocking it. Not purposefully, but as if placed there.
Do I notice anything weird about the mannequins?
Nope.
I'll just walk on by them and move to head out.
The walking past it, you would have
Uh,
to squeeze in between them or move them yourself.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I'll pick one up and move it over then.
As soon as you lift it and you shift it over to the side, the shadow that is attached separates. You see that it begins to dance, miming, giving a little twirl of their hands. And you can see that where a normal head should be is sun-shaped. And it begins to twirl and dance and then leap up onto a trapeze rope that is above your head. And then you see another one appear, breaking away from the mannequin that it was on. And you see this one is moon-shaped. And both of the shadows begin to dance together.
Interesting. Okay. I don't have a way of communicating with the guys. I have no spells. um, Interacting with ghosts the way that I have, is there a way that I can kind of see what they're trying to communicate, what they're trying to do?
Just
Anything that
looking
gives
at
me...
yeah, just looking at these two, it just seems like they're performing. But you do see them, and you see that one of them is very much Gleam's shadow. It has the crescent moon for a head.
Gleam, that's you, right? Yeah? Does it respond at all to being called a name?
It hangs upside down on the rope and gives a wave.
Okay. So you can attach to mannequins. Can you attach to people and kind of walk out?
And it gives a shake of its head, and you see that it is almost miming playing a violin. You can assume it's playing a sad song.
Oh, okay. Is there any way that you could tell me... Fuck. Any way you can tell me how to get you out of here? And back on your body? I mean, I know breaking curses and shit, but...
You see that the sun-shaped shadow jumps from the trapeze rope, begins to dance onto the stage, and it stops. And it starts to do a little jig on top of what looked to be a pair of opera glasses.
So you would have to have your own bodies here to attach to?
And then you see that they do the motion to clap their hands. Of course, no sound.
Ah, shit. Okay. Well, that's a problem. Gleam can't get in. We don't know where the rest of the actual bodies of these people are located, and we don't know who some of them are. Okay. Alright. So you, Gleam, you're outside. Your person's outside. What about you, son? Do you know where you are?
And you see that it points up.
Up there. Okay, on the main stage. What about the others?
And it shrugs.
Alright. Okay, can you guys, are you able to leave this room? Can you, like, follow along the rest of the castle and show us things, or are you stuck here?
And you can see that Gleam's shadow begins to play the violin again.
Okay, they're stuck here. Okay. How do we break the curse?
You see that Glister is dancing next to the opera glasses again. And then Gleam makes her way from the trapeze rope, stands right behind Glister. And you can no longer see both of them. You just see one. One shape. A sun and a moon. An eclipse.
Okay. Remind me real quick, the whole thing with the eclipse.
Aes'Taldon believes that an eclipse is going to be her demise, which is why she separated Glister and Gleam.
Okay. Historically, we're in the Feywild, so it's hard to tell, but like out in the real world, was there an eclipse that was happening anytime soon?
No.
No. Okay. Shit. All right. Anything else that you two can tell me before I head off to talk to smarter people about this?
You see that several of the shadows give you middle fingers.
What? I look. Oh God, they're mad at me. Do you need me to stay here with you guys?
You see that they both motion, arms crossed on their chest.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out why they're mad at me. Do I need to talk to them too? Oh God.
Without having to roll insight, you can very safely assume, because you said speak to someone smarter.
Oh, did they think that I was calling them dumb?
It's very safe to assume.
Oh God, no, I'm not calling you dumb. I'm dumb. I mean, I'm average smart, but there's a guy upstairs. There's a couple of guys upstairs that are more intelligent than me, and they might be able to, put dots together where I can't. Not at all calling you guys dumb. No. You guys are great. Just yeah. I'm not coming back from this, am I?
They
We can
both shake their head.
we can
Ah.
feel in the ether. Ixaroli backpedaling. You can just feel it in his loins.
Oh God, I hope not there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I guess unless they have anything else helpful, she's gonna try to backtrack her way back to the guys.
Okay. So, the two of you upstairs. You notice that Frixori has disappeared. Nobody has noticed, nobody has said anything. If they did notice, nobody's done anything. None of the shadows have moved. They just seem to be sitting there watching the stage, waiting for the show to start. You can hear noises from behind you in the direction that you came from. It sounds like people moving, you would assume, stage equipment, backdrops, things like that. And then you see a woman dressed in green. Very beautiful, very prima donna. She starts to make her way in. See that she's almost expecting to be revered when no one does. She gets huffy. Well, I see that you're good for nothing, whatever you are. Can't appreciate talent when you see it.
Wiggum starts to clap, I guess. Ooh, yeah, whoever you are, you're awesome.
Madam, my apologies. I didn't mean to seem rude, but I was in awe by your beauty.
Roll me deception, both of you.
Yeah, definitely not great at it.
Let's see, hold on. I can save us, but let me see how much I have to save us. Alright, I'm fine. Oh, you got a 6, my guy? Jesus. Alright,
But
well,
sarcastically.
let me see. So I want to dump 14 into that, so I have to use 28 luck points,
Oh, jeez.
which I will.
How many luck points do you have?
I had 47, and now I'm less than that.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not trying to get obliterated in the Feywild.
Why?
I'll gladly
It's
spend
just another life.
I'll gladly spend 28 luck points to get him to a 20.
So, the two of you, with Wiggum applauding, and Olorin, you singing the praises of this woman, she puts her head up, looking down her nose, the two of you. But there's this very overconfident smirk. You seem to have stroked her ego. Saved yourself trouble that you don't need to have right now. And she extends her hand out for the two of you. The name is Skyla. And that is what she looks like. You see that following shortly after are, you can very easily count 18 goblins, 12 adults, and 6 children.
I don't know how I feel about that, but alright.
One of them is chained to a lantern.
Like it's security or like it's not gonna go anywhere?
Like it's not going to go anywhere.
Like it has to be picked up by someone there.
Yes.
Do any of them look like they could be the parents of the other goblin that we saw?
No.
It's good and bad. Alright.
I'm going to grab her hand and give it what's
A kiss?
yeah, one as just gonna show it to her. Go. Just give her a kiss on like a very cordial
You do that.
like my eye to look around to the other goblins as well.
They don't seem to be responsive. You see their heads are down. In this group, though, you've now noticed that there's another figure. There's a Briganock. above, almost on their head, there's this ball of light. You've noticed this on the other Briganox as well. You see that the woman, she accepts the kiss on her hand and very quickly snatches her hand away as if you've taken up too much of her time. One of the goblins approaches and... Madam Skyla. And almost immediately, she unfurls her fan and just whacks him right in the face. I told you to address me, Charme. And the goblin rubs his nose, fixes his glasses. Charme. We need to get you fitted. The play is to start soon. Yes, yes, yes. And then she closes the fan. And she taps you on the top of your head. Wiggum.
Huh? What?
See me after the show. I might have a job for you.
Okay. Wiggum sits back in his hard chair, just eats good berries.
And then she turns and walks towards the stage.
Seems kind of a bit of a diva to me.
Yeah, but we might get more information after.
Oh, by the way, I think Pix is doing.
Question: how long does it take one to
It depends.
hours?
Not hours usually. It depends on if the line's long.
There a line here?
I don't know. I don't go to the women's bathroom usually. I don't go to the women's bathroom.
Excuse me?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
How long would it take her to find her way back?
Actually, a hot minute.
Oh shit. Oh, no.
So, you begin to move through this upside down room. When you exit, you notice that you're right side up again, though you were never physically upside down. The room itself appeared to be upside down. You are now standing in what looks like a tunnel. You see that there are loose-fitting stones, red light shining through the cracks, and you can hear the sounds of shouting and hammering from beyond the wall. That's to the left of you. To the right, you see that it begins to turn into smooth, worked stone. You can hear noises, that music when you heard entering into the into Motherhorn. That same music coming to your right.
I'm gonna take a quick peek into that left room.
So, peeking to the left, down the hallway, you see that there are crates of props that are stacked alongside wooden backdrops, draped in cobwebs. An 8-foot diameter, circular wooden disc, painted to look like a smiling moon, leans against one wall. From a cluttered corner, a voice calls out, "Psst! Over here!" Glancing into that direction, you see that there is a wooden marionette carved and painted to look like a human skeleton. I seem to have gotten myself in a wee fix. If you wouldn't mind helping. You see that he has gotten himself tangled in his own strings.
Y- yeah, sure. Hold on. Yeah. I look around. Is he the? Is the skeleton the only thing there?
That you can see,
That-
yes.
Okay. Kind of clearing the room of anyone else that might be suspicious or might yell at me for being somewhere I'm not supposed to be. I'm gonna go and help the skeleton get untangled.
Okay, can you roll me a sleight of hand check?
That I can.
Awesome. So, you work getting these strings untangled. And finally, you see that he comes undone. You can hear the clacking of wood as it's falling back into place. He's like, "Oh, well, thank goodness. Thank you so much. My name is Break a Leg. Hello." And he takes you by your finger and gives it a shake.
Frixori. Nice to meet you. Yeah, you. Have you been a skeleton all your life? Or, is this another thing?
And his motions are still very puppet like, despite the fact that the strings are not floating above him, they're hanging at his side. He still moves as if he's being guided by it. I am not a skeleton, I am a puppet. A living doll, if you will. And as he kind of leans forward, you hear the joints creaking. You see his jaw clacking up and down. His head cants oddly to the left before straightening back up.
All right. So you're a puppet. Were you a person before?
Me? No, no.
You've always
I
been a
am.
puppet.
Yes, I am, Mother's. Aes'Taldon's first experiment with living puppetry.
Oh. And I see that she did a pretty bang up job. You look great.
Thank you. I wish to leave. It is dreadfully terrible here. I have not seen the light of day, and I don't know how long.
Well, if you were Endelyn's first puppet, I'm guessing you knew her pretty well, right?
Well enough, yes.
How would you go about trying to get out?
Well, and he turns his hand and it sweeps over towards that wall with the red cracks. We can go through the tunnels.
Is that where all the Chorids live?
Yes, yes.
Well then, I mean, we leave through the tunnels, but then that doesn't really solve the problem of breaking people's curses or anything like that.
And then
But
he
I'm glad.
gestures towards himself. Well, I cannot help you in a fight. I am nothing but strings and 2 left feet. And you see that he has 2 left feet.
Oh, God. Well, you expect us to fight her then? How? Would you fight her? Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm not suggesting anything. If you wish to fight her, and he gestures towards the wooden disc that is beside him, you are welcome to try.
I will look over the disc.
You see that it is a wooden disc that is painted to look like a moon. It has a small iron ring screwed on its top so that it can be hung from a hook above a stage.
Is there a sun matching somewhere?
Not that you can see. But you do know that there is a sun somewhere in this building.
Eclipse. It's not like a literal eclipse. It's like... Huh. Okay. Can I take this with me? Is that okay?
And he nods. By all means.
Would you know where the sun is? You gotta match him, right?
And he shakes his head. I've been down here for a very long time.
Sorry to hear that. I mean, I guess I can open the doors for you to go in through the tunnel and you can at least get out for now.
And you see that he's doing that little puppet walk over towards it. I can do it myself. Thank you.
But then she's just confused then, because why wouldn't he just leave?
Because he was tangled up in his strings. He couldn't move.
Has he been tangled up that freaking long?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. Alright. I'm still not in the... Oh, so I'm in the room to the left with the red light and the shouting and the hammering, but that was from past that area, right?
You are in that area now. He's heading further down in that hallway, and that's going to take him to the tunnels.
Perfect. Then with this moon staff thing in hand, I'm going to turn the other way and head towards where that music was coming from.
Okay. As you part ways with Break a Leg, he mutters, 2 things to note. Actually, 3. Aes'Taldon is terrified of eclipses.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Aes'Taldon wrote a secret about her sister, Scabantha, on a piece of invisible parchment that she keeps in the oracular library. If you should ever need it. And the lightning, the oracular.
Oracular. Okay. And then the lightning?
The lightning rods on top of Mother Horn, should they be destroyed or stolen, Aes'Taldon can't operate her little contraptions. And he gives a little wiggle of his fingers. And then he doesn't say anything else. He just turns and walks. You can hear the little clicking of wood as he's disappearing further and further until he's completely out of sight.
Alright. Cool. I'll then, yeah, after receiving that, then I'll head back to get the, to the direction that the music was coming from.
Okay. You enter what appears to be a room with cells strung with hammocks on both sides of the corridor. You can hear snoring from one side and the noise of a stomach rumbling on the other. You see 2 goblins asleep. And that is where we're going to end our session.
Oh, buddy. I'm so lost, guys.
You are lost.
Hey,
Oh,
you
no.
made your life choice.
Live with it.
Come find me, please.
I know where I am.
I keep doing this. This is the second time that I've gotten lost somewhere, and no one knows where I am.
Find
All
the
right.
small child in the mall. By the way, no one
For
knows
real.
what direction is in the mall.
Oh my god.
All right, everybody. So thank you for joining us. You can catch us in 2 weeks for the continuation of Aes'Taldon the beginning. Looking forward to seeing you then. And hopefully Frixori finds her way out of the fucking castle.
Fuck me, man.
Goodbye.